I love that sound. This is the Sizzling Show, powered by Fit to Be Trained, coming to you from Deep End Broadcasting Network studios in the lovely Virginia Beach, Virginia, in the United States of America. You can find this program on deependbroadcasting.com and subscribe to this network's YouTube channel, Deep End 757 Broadcasting. Hey, y'all, it's me, Sizzle. I am Karen Doherty, and you can also find me online, Fit to Be Trained, everywhere. Fit to Be Trained. That's all you got to do. And then I'll pop up Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I'm so excited for the Super Bowl.
Yes, me too. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Steve. I can't help but to like last week I wanted to wear my
you're a Philly fan, right? Yeah, there you go.
Eagles sweatshirt, but I thought it was just too soon, like I didn't start wearing my Eagles sweatshirt around here in Virginia Beach till about Thursday.
Yeah.
Because it was the Eagles and the Commanders, and I just felt like out of respect.
Well, yeah, you could get trash thrown out at you.
Right, out of respect, I was
walking down the street on the sidewalk, people yelling at you. How bad?
Right. Now,
you
if
suck or something like that.
I just thought it was just polite to but Thursday, it was funny because a physical therapist came to my house for my son, and I was wearing the shirt or this sweatshirt, and I was like, dude, is it too soon? He goes, no, I'm good. I'm Pittsburgh. I was like, all right, sweet. Because I don't want to be ignorant, but I am happy that the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. I am happy.
But it's a tough Super Bowl for a lot of people. Obviously, Philly has their own fan base.
Oh, God.
And I'm quite the one to know the subject is on this network as well. I host a wagering NFL football show airing Sundays every morning. If anyone tuning in is all about that, you can come to the website here, deependbroadcasting.com, and catch our content live all Sunday morning with our Super Bowl preview show. But it's the hated Philly Eagles against the much hated and maligned Kansas City Chiefs, who are trying to three-peat, for whatever reason, be it the referees give the Chiefs all the penalties, or Taylor Swift showing her face on TV all the time, or having her face showing on TV all the time. The Chiefs getting a lot of flack from everyone nationwide, and it's like two villains putting in a squared circle here, and we'll see who comes out on top.
This is so cool because I love talking to you about this because obviously you are so knowledgeable. I mean, I'm from New Jersey and Philadelphia, and like my teen years were all spent in Philly.
Right.
So my family and friends obviously are going nuts for years now.
Did you used to go to the Eagle games back in the old Veterans Stadium?
Yes, and Philly fans, oh my God, they're crazy. I mean, my brother is one of them. It's so it's been like that since childhood. My brother spray painted his car when the Phillies in baseball won the World Series. I mean, it was just Philly fans are crazy no matter what the sport. And so obviously it's exciting for my friends and family and me, for them to be going.
I've been to one game in Veterans Stadium where they did play the Redskins.
I got to see that back in the day, in the 80s.
I saw it in the early 90s, I want to say it was. Mm-hmm. Probably mid-90s, maybe. But that was an adventure. There it was. The guy next to us said that we were in the worst part of the stadium, and there was a guy wearing a John Riggins Redskins jersey right in front of us, and this beer goes whizzing by my ear, a cup of beer, and explodes all over this guy's jersey, and all you hear from behind is, it was me, F face. He called him the F word face, and I turned around and it was nothing but angry Eagle fans. And let's see what else happened that game. So
wow,
the Redskins were doing good.
Uh-huh.
And this was back when raising the roof was a thing. I don't know if you remember when people would raise the roof and put their hands in the air and kind of like
wave them like they just don't
put their
care.
palms to the sky and kind of
I
raise
still
the
do
roof.
that. I'm so old.
So this little Redskins kid starts raising the roof in front of the Eagles section. Everyone points at him. Starts calling him asshole. This little kid.
He's just a kid.
That was fine. That ended up okay. But once the Eagles came back and started winning, this little Eagles kid starts raising the roof in front of the section. And these 4 idiot Redskin fans, who are men, grown men, jump out of their section and start beating up on this little kid. And the whole section of the stadium flooded on these guys, and it was a mass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was my experience of Veterans.
Yeah, and that doesn't go away. Obviously, that's a memory. Even it was in the middle of the 90s. Like when I saw the Redskins and the Eagles play, it was in DC actually, and it was cold too. Oh man, I remember that. And it was in the 80s. It was a long time ago. It was kind of cool because we were coming out of Philly. We got to take a limo. Like a bunch of us went in on a limo, and then you could party there. It was an experience. It was fun. But being female, like I didn't probably take it as serious. I was going for the good time and the guys and the beer and whatever, right? But God, that was a long time ago. But I got to give, we say Redskins, but Commanders fans. I mean, talk about some loyal fans too. I mean, obviously Philly Eagles have some loyal fans, but they're super rowdy and almost borderline obnoxious. And
very obnoxious.
Very. I have to be like, I'm trying to ride the fence here. But the Eagles have been doing really good for a long time. So it's easy to follow somebody that's doing really good. And the Redskins go up and down, but you know what? Their fans are really loyal. So when I see a Redskins fan or a Commanders fan out there in the world, I'm always like, you guys are the loyalest people. You're probably good friends to have. And I do believe they are, because the few that I know are rather good friends, loyal, honest people. So
I think the one person that America can get behind, and then I can translate this into the show actually right now, and the subject matter that we hold on this program. But the one person that's going to be the saving grace for America here is probably Saquon Barkley, the running back for the Eagles who came over from the Giants.
I know, right?
I think everyone would like to see him after the phenomenal season that he had. If he ends up being a Super Bowl champion, I think America is going to be fine with that at the end of the day.
Right. And the Giants and the Eagles are just enemies, right? Like, oh my goodness. Like I heard a story where a girl, one of my clients, was working for the Giants, and one of the players' daughter gave her a little bracelet, and it said Giants, a little macrame bracelet, something really cute. And she was going into Philly. She had to go to the Eagles stadium for something, and she had that on. And somebody said to her, "You need to take that bracelet off if you're coming into the stadium." And she's like, "It's a macrame child's bracelet. It doesn't matter." I mean, that's how much the Giants and the Eagles oppose one another, shall we say.
I saw so on Saquon this week, I was just flipping around, but whatever show I was on was talking about his workout programming.
Oh,
and
I love this kind
and
of
he's
stuff.
a good squatter, but what he does for cardio was pretty good. And this is
do
good for
tell
all the people out here.
I want to hear.
So if you ever want to gas yourself working out and get a quick workout in, and you're sick of kind of the mundane running 2-3 miles, something like that, all you simply need to do is start running uphill. And that's going to adds a whole new dynamic to how hard you're going to breathe, how hard you're going to work out. And Saquon basically will just have a hill. And he runs straight up it. That's part of it.
Is he sprinting?
Yeah. But what he also does is he staggers cones
Gotcha.
up and down the hill. And he actually runs around the cones. So he's kind of going a little bit side to side, almost a little bit.
Yeah. That's even better.
Which is kind of sounds a little dangerous, but if you do it concentrated enough, that's going to really build those knee muscles, right? And we talked about that, the importance of moving the knees side to side in previous programs, as opposed to just back and forth all the time. You need to get that strength going side to side.
Oh God!
Otherwise, you will get knee injuries.
I think it's actually safer. I'm going to lay my bets on that. Especially if he's going side to side, because you think about skiing, you're going straight down.
Basically, is what it was. If you look like a ski slalom,
yeah,
where you go downhill,
that's what it sounded like.
He was doing the reverse way, going uphill.
Gotcha.
So everyone out there, it's if you don't have a hill and you live where I do in Virginia Beach, well, if you go down to like the bay down here and you walk down to the shoreline and you look up towards the sand dunes and like usually to the beach access, that's a decent incline. That's an incline going from the water up to the top of the sand dune. Try doing that 3 times.
That's such a good idea, too. I wouldn't have thought of that. And it's just sand.
Sprinting up to it 3 times, walking back, then try to run again as hard as you can. Walk back, do it again.
I love doing these podcasts with you because you like to talk about running, and I hate running. Oh my God, I hate it. I just can't. I wish I could like fake it. I can't even fake it on a microphone. Oh, but I would do that. I'd be willing to do that because I don't like sand workouts either. I don't like beach workouts. I would be willing to do that up side to side at a very moderate pace. And on the beach for sure. Like I thought you were gonna say trash more, and I was like, whoa, we could talk about that all you want.
That's a whole nother animal because that's a bigger hill.
Right.
But I've done that before.
I know I've had trash more days, but not, I don't mean to sound lazy, but I feel like at 58, like I've graduated from stuff. Like it's
a hard workout.
I know I'm really strong and fit for my age, and I'm happy fitness wise, and I'm still training. Oh my goodness. But I just don't do like killer stuff right now. I'm not saying that I won't again because my schedule is really heavy right now. So I want to be able to do everything. So I can't kill myself on workouts too much because like I'll have to work out 2-3 times today lightly. Some of it I'm just training, but like lunchtime I'm doing a chest workout for myself. So yeah, I got to save the pretty. I always joke, like I got to be able to finish my week out. So I'm trying to find balance. So a lot of the really hard workouts, I'm still maybe doing them, but really lightweight, really slow.
Right.
Really slow. Speaking of that, I was kind of dealing with burnout. Like I was kind of wondering what I was going to talk about today. And there's so many things to talk about. I didn't know which one to. And like I was dealing with burnout where I was just like exhausted mentally, physically, everything. So I had to really, look at my schedule, cut back, make sure that my health, and I guess I would fall under like a self-care category or, respecting your mental health as well as your physical health. And so I didn't know if I wanted to talk about that. And but it's kind of, I know I'd rather talk about that another week, actually, come to think of it, because I am burned out. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I'd rather like when I'm improving, like next week, maybe we could talk about that. What I thought about talking about today was like, what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite exercise? And it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't think about it too much because I have a lot that I like. But when I kind of said that to myself, I was like, I wonder what my favorite exercise is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the push-up for me. I like the push-up. But I also like the clean and jerk, So when I say this to you, pick any exercise that you want, and it's not, it's not, what am I trying to say? Verbatim, but what is your favorite exercise, Steve? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I guess deadlift comes to mind right away.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But in a more broader thing, I would just say stretching more than anything.
Oh yeah, mobility. I'm big on mobility. I mean, that's what I mean, people, I should probably talk about myself a little bit. I'm a fitness trainer and I talk about fitness, and I've even got my trainer eyes hat on. I do online fitness training for like my hobby, kind of. I love it. It's cool. But my bread and butter comes from, in-person fitness training and Pilates. I specialize in Pilates. I have a Pilates reformer. And since you spoke about stretching, it made me think of the mobility classes. Mobility is key. We've talked about this before in the previous classes. I mean, mobility is going to be able make it so you can do the deadlifts. I like that you like stretching, because a lot of people don't.
Before, after the workout, but I think the key to stretching overall too as well is if you can just make time in the morning.
Yeah.
And get up and spend that 15 to 20 minutes before you get going with your day. I think you can go from a stiff getting out of bed,
oh God,
kind of crunkling around there with your old bones grinding against each other, to where if you can just get on your mat, get your bands out, put the band underneath your one foot and pull that leg back over your head as far as you can, laying on your back, and get that hamstring going and the calves. I think that sets up your day to be very loose.
And you can use a towel too. I don't want people to feel like they have to have a band, because a lot of us have.
No, you don't have to have a band. No.
But you can use like a towel too. I've seen physical therapists do that. It's got a little stiffer, less of a pull too. But
just simply bending over and touching your toes, or trying to touch your toes.
I know.
If you can't touch your toes, you need to keep bending over and trying to touch the toes. And if you keep trying, you're eventually going to get there.
I do a really
do it every day.
Easy mobility class at 7:15 on Tuesdays and Fridays. This is cool. I'm glad we're talking about it. It gives me a chance to plug it. It's a virtual. We meet twice a week, and it's cheap. It's like $19.99. I've always wanted to sell something for $19.99. It's horribly underpriced, but it's only 2 times a week. It's Tuesdays and Fridays at 7:15. It's 30 minutes. I've got a little group that comes out. I've added on a Monday night class where it's more mat. So it's only 3 classes a week, but it's 3 classes a week. So it's well worth it. And it's all mobility. And I love teaching that because I believe in it. Because I love weight training. And so that Pilates and stretch class that I do in the mobility gets me so I can go deadlift, push-ups though. Like push-ups are something. The reason why push-up came to my mind is I like what it does for me. And so obviously I plugged it in and I wanted to get like some, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a push-up. I mean, the advantages are so easy. You don't need equipment. You can do it anywhere. It's super versatile. There's all kinds of modifications you can do.
I think awfully often neglected as well is the push-up. To be honest,
I love it. I mean, I like what it does for my looks too. Like, I hate to sound so vain, but push-ups make my arms and shoulders, chest, back look good. And it's where I see the most results. Like I did bicep curls yesterday. I mean, I do that. I do tricep dips. I love those. And so, yeah, obviously shoulders. I mean, I do all those workouts too, but push-ups, I swear to God, if that's all I did, I feel like my arms would still look really good. Remember back in the day at Valiant where Valiant CrossFit, if you were a couple minutes late, if you were a minute late, you had to do, I think it was 3 or 5 burpees.
Right.
And I've always had like signature arms. That was always like a good, like when I wear a gown or something or a dress or I'm going out, I show off my arms. That's my feature. And I always say, I swear they were so good because I was often 1, 2, 3 minutes late to CrossFit because I was taking my kid to school or whatever. I was coming home from work or I was just lollygagging because, So I'd go in there and I'd have to do, I think it was 3. I think she had us do 3 for
no, I think it was 5.
Was it 5? So sometimes I'm doing 15 burpees. We would have to do burpees. Remember that?
Yeah.
And obviously there's a push-up in that burpee.
Yep.
So I really always joked around. I'd never had better arms than when I was working out at Valiant CrossFit because of that punishment. I'd have to do like 3, at least 3, because I was often a minute late, and a day. So it was like, and I was going every day back then. So I always, my arms have never been the same. And that's the only thing that I'm doing different now other than aging, but I'm not doing burpees every day. I still go to CrossFit and I do burpees once in a while, but not every day. So I wanted to talk about the push-up because I do that in the morning mobility class that I do, but I do it standing. I do it up against the wall, where some of you might be like, oh my God, that's so easy. You would be pleasantly surprised how good it gets my triceps, because I do a close-handed version of the push-up where it's just shoulder width apart, drop my elbows down towards the ground. Then I do an open version, and you're lowering your nose literally right in between your hands on the wall. And you would be stunned and you keep your elbows up so you're working your back. I mean, there's some form to it, pulling your tummy in, blah, 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 blah. But you'd be stunned by 2 sets of 10 or maybe even 2 sets of 12 or 15, how your arms will feel it. It's really cool. And I sometimes can get my heart rate up, and it's morning time. It's usually, for me, it's usually my second job. For some of my students that come to the class, it's probably their first time exercising that day. So it's even, a little more invigorating, should we say. So it's kind of cool. So people underestimate the wall push-up, which is obviously the easiest. And then you change your incline as you get better and better. My favorite is I'm on the floor and I like, I'd go to my knees a lot. That's basically where I start because I have a workout today I'm doing, and I'll do push-ups. I do 15, four sets of 15. And I'll be on my knees. And then I also like when you like the hand release push-ups. Do you know what I mean when I say that? When you come all the way down and you pull your hands back.
Some people hate those.
I know,
but
I
honestly,
like
you know what I think it does for you is I think it gives you that explosion factor off the ground. Because you now have and I get it, you keep tension under a regular push-up, and that's hard to do for sure. But that doesn't give you necessarily that explosion factor you can get.
I know.
Which is, as a coach for rugby, I think that's tremendous to be able to have to push people off of you out of nowhere and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So when you're just flat on the ground with basically at a neutral spot of where you have no muscles engaged, you have to go from nothing to all of a sudden thrusting your body up into the air at a good rate.
I like it. It gives me power. It makes I just like it. I like it. In CrossFit, you can add like that little kip and then come out to the plank. I love that too. Again, that would give the burst. And I thought that was so interesting that you said that about coaching rugby, that yes, you've got to push yourself up off that ground and there might be 3 people on top of you.
Right.
So that's really neat. It enhances core stability, but like, especially like you just said, pushing, there is a lot of core in a push-up. And what I like about the hand release part, there's these little baby muscles that are up along the spine. And they're called multifidi. They're really tiny. And to engage them, you have to pull your hands back. And so I do that a lot in Pilates and with my students in there. But I love bringing that into the fitness into the gym where you pull back, get those multifidi working. It promotes cardiovascular health. I'm huffing and puffing when I'm done 15. And I can't do 15 push-ups unbroken. Yeah. I mean, today I get to do them. So we'll see. I get to like 8 sometimes, and 8 seems to be my magic number on a lot of things. I don't know if that's mental or not, but
push-ups are not easy. They're hard. I mean, that's one of the reasons why that you're talking about it, is that it's so good for you, but they don't come easy.
No, not at all. But like I said, I don't like intimidating people with thinking, oh, it's so too hard. No, do it up against the wall. It's still not easy.
You got to start somewhere. But I mentioned about how neglected they are. I mean, if you go on Instagram or any of these social media sites, and if you look at any of these people who are working out, or, you know, follow me for my workouts, and well, one, you'll see plenty of people giving you bad advice and showing you bad form on their videos, either whether they're not, you know, barely squatting when they're squatting, or not engaging properly on their deadlift, or whatever the case may be. You never see any of these fitness influencers talking about the push-up. Yes. Ever. Right? Usually it's about the booty lifts if you're a female. And I'm not picking on you females, but guys do love their bench press. You know,
true.
Me, hey, Anthony, you want to go do bench press? Yeah, let's go do it.
Yeah.
How often do you see, hey, Karen, you want to go do a bench press with me? You know, from Jill.
Right. No, it doesn't. You're right. I mean, dudes like it. My son's healing up. He's got some injuries in his legs, and believe it, he's got a bench in his room, and he's doing what? Dumbbell bench press. Yeah, exactly. I know. You're right. I mean, dudes really do like it. It's good for you too. And seated shoulder press.
But it's just not the arms, like you said. I mean, you tone your arms that way.
Arms, shoulders,
those triceps,
chest, back.
Yes, good for your back.
Just gets absolutely. It all done. And that's why when I had to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 really quick to myself and go, all right, what's my favorite exercise? That's why, I mean, push-ups do not come easy. I'm never like overjoyed to do them, but I know, like I said, I'm going to do 4 sets of 15 today. In between, I'm going to do bench press. I am doing bench press today and fly and all that. But I like what they do. Like how they make me look, even though the bench press and the fly makes me look good too. Obviously, I'm doing that along with, but I really think that push up is probably the best thing that I'll do on my chest workout today.
How about this too? In the grand scheme of things, you know, let's just use the number of 50 push-ups as a nice, easy round number. Where actually 50 push-ups is actually doing a lot of work for you, to be honest. If you're a beginner, if you can do 50 push-ups, I'm not talking about in the row, you know, 10 at a time.
I can't even do 15 unbroken. Are you kidding
8
me?
at a time, you know, 5 at a time even. But in retrospect, how long does it take you to do those 50 push-ups?
Not long. I know.
5 minutes maybe.
I know. We do 30 minutes. We'll do 30 minutes today. And this one, it's a lot of reps because it's me and my pal. We're doing like a bodybuilding regimen where you're 15, 12, 10, 8. And we're doing chest and tries today, but it does get to be a little bit like 35 minutes for all of that. And each in between, we do the 15 push-ups. That's me. I'm the one who's like, let's do that, you know, because I know that for girls too, because like a lot of us do get really heavy, but we won't today. We just don't have enough weight. Both of us could lift more than we're probably going to today, but that push-up is going to guarantee you tone and firm you up for sure. That's why I added in, just in case I'm not lifting enough weight. I just don't have enough, I've got 30s because being a girl like you guys, I didn't mean to be like whatever the new way is. We're not supposed to, but guys are a lot stronger than girls. Come on. So my son's like, I'm struggling with 20s and he's using 30s. The disadvantages of the push-up. There is a risk of injury if done with the incorrect form.
Yeah, or
if you've already got something going on.
Stretch again. Let's get back to the stretching.
Oh yeah.
What I talked about. Before you do any kind of chest exercise at all, you need to stretch your chest out. And that's as simple as standing sideways against the wall and kind of putting your arm back behind you.
Good point.
On the arm or just grabbing a pole and then try to move your chest forward, right, while grabbing the pole that's behind you. That will stretch you out.
That's a good.
But all that is key to not hurting yourself for sure, because a torn pec is something that takes a long time to get over, and you will lose a lot of other exercises that you can do if you mess up and hurt yourself doing push-ups.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I know I've had shoulder injuries in the past, and I feel like I really don't think that push-ups were out. I sometimes would have to change my hand, if my hands where they were. But I do want to say, if you have a shoulder injury or like Steve said, something with your pec, it's not going to be conducive to do push-ups.
And if you are sore there, just like you said, find an incline. Find like like the GHD machine is a great thing to do a push-up on. Like at a slanted 45-degree angle.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Or the wall, like you said.
Yeah.
But find maybe
bench.
a box or a bench.
Yeah.
Or something. Yep.
Yeah, like I work out with some clients in their garage, and the washer and dryer or like a kitchen counter.
Yeah.
That's a really nice height. That feels good for stretching.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, really, really hard, but you're pulling your elbows back. Feels good. Here's plateauing. It talks about as a disadvantage. That's true. You can get really good at a push-up, and then you need to move on to the next phase, like hand release. Kipping. Well, kipping is not the next phase. That's my next phase.
Right.
That's not the next phase for, plank push-up is the hardest. And then, people, like you said earlier, some people think the hand release is harder. I kind of don't think that, but everybody's different. They say there's limited lower body engagement, and I disagree, because I think the reason why I excel on push-ups is because I engage my entire body. I use my Pilates Essentials where I'm pulling in I'm engaging my pelvic floor, pulling in my belly button, pulling in my abs underneath my rib cage. Then I tighten my legs so tight when I'm in that plank that my quads are engaged. Everything's engaged. So yes, you could do a push-up with no body engagement, a lower body engagement if you wanted, but it just seems so ridiculous. I engage every single muscle because I know the benefits of it from my Pilates training, but I'm thinking that everybody hopefully knows the benefits of that. And if you're in my classes, you're made to do stuff like that. There's so many variations. The knee push-up we just talked about, wide grip, diamond push-up. That's where your thumb and your fingers are together. Those are hard.
More tricep oriented as well.
Absolutely. And I love triceps, tricep work. If you've got good triceps, your arms will look good. Just a little sidebar note in there. People know that if you train your tricep, it gives you an illusion and a curve that you see from the front, believe it or not. One arm push-up, never been able to do that in my life, but it is a variation. Plyometric push-up, which is not what me and Steve were talking about earlier, where you're lying on the ground, hand releasing. Like he was saying, you've got a chance to fire up. Plyometric push-up is where you really make air.
Yeah, those are a little tough for me.
That's not for
sure.
me either. I've never done one in my life, but I'm not sad about it. I'm okay with that.
You know, if you're concerned about building, I'll add one more to this list if I can. And if you're concerned about building strength or hitting a plateau or whatever, I think the tempo, doing a tempo push-up. And when I say that, that just means doing it slow.
4 count.
And when you talk about full body
Good job.
Engagement, right? Getting all your muscles involved and feeling all those muscles working, I think you feel the most when you do it slowed and control. You can feel all your muscles through your body working when you do it that way.
You got to come down and do Pilates with me.
I probably need to.
Yeah. I think you'd really excel at it and like it because you get it. I mean, just because you're rugby, Pilates is starting to come into the world with all you guys, like football players, rugby. It's been around with the golfers, and the Cubs won the World Series years back. And the pitcher was doing Pilates. Right. I remember that. That was like one of the first time it was ever talked about, because Pilates is trendy now. It wasn't when he was doing it. And now you've got soccer teams on the reformer. It's kind of cool. But you're right. Things done slow. Oh my goodness. They make life, or I shouldn't say life. They make an exercise much more efficient, but hard.
Yes.
So even an easy exercise can be made hard, done slow. I usually in classes will do regular variations, where you're doing singles. Then I'll have you pulse it where it's halftime. Do. Then I make you go 4 counts. So you can do that with a squat. You can do that with a push-up. You can do that with anything. And once you start using variations of time, we do it a lot in Pilates. It really can smoke a muscle. Absolutely.
You know what? And I think you're better off doing that than trying to throw some weight on your back and make your push-up heavier. You know what I'm saying? Some people will take a plate and put them on their back and try to do, they'll do planks, but even trying to do push-ups with like a 45-pound plate on your back, I think you're better off doing a nice, slow, controlled push-up rather than risking injury. Like this is part of the content here, trying to add weight, making it kind of awkward for you, etc.
I agree. Like we just said earlier, I'm adding weight. I'm getting strong. But I'm watching my joints now that I'm older, and so I don't stack a bunch of weight on anything unless I really feel like my body's good for it, or like if I'm squatting, making sure my knees are going out and glute med's working, and I'm really incorporating all those muscles.
The other thing you'll see a lot online with now too, people doing squats or even deadlifts and stuff like that, you'll see them doing these exercises with resistant bands on their barbell. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to do in the world. I get it. You're kind of adding a different element to your deadlift, but do you really want your whole point is to go up and engage. Do you really want it to be kind of brought back down to the ground?
I get what you're saying.
Putting you in an awkward scenario, perhaps. I don't know. I need to learn more about it. I know there's probably fitness instructors out there saying, whatever, I do that kind of thing all the time.
Well,
anyway.
It's the thought of the eccentric conception. So you're up.
Seems a little sketchy to me. But the thing is, we haven't seen that in decades, Sizzle, growing up working out. How's it all of a sudden a new kind of thing that's super good for you? I don't know. I have my doubts a little bit.
I appreciate that. I agree 100%.
So beware of putting bands on, trying to go anti-gravity or whatever.
Right. It is. Everything is more better, more is better, and that's not really true.
Right. That's the good way to put it.
It says why we should do push-ups. So it says, my paper says, builds functional strength. Yep, definitely. Because you can use this with daily activities for sure. Convenient and versatile. You can do a push-up anywhere. It's scalable. So, like we just talked about, there's so many different modifications. So anybody can do it. Our mothers can do it. Our kids can do it. Any age, except for injury. Obviously, if it hurts, you can't do it. If it's uncomfortable, that's normal. Boosts metabolism. Okay. I wouldn't have said that. So that's why I print off these little cliff notes, so we have stuff in case it gets dead air, which it never does. But I love that with boost metabolism, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But I think it definitely does. Engaging multiple muscle groups helps boost your metabolism. Boom, there it is. Improves posture. Remember, I did a whole boring. I didn't mean to say that. My podcast was not boring, but I did a whole 45 minutes on posture. So we know that I love that subject. So improves posture for sure, because it strengthens all those muscles around the rib cage, front, back, shoulders, backs of your arms, abs, everywhere. So that improves your posture right there. Boom. So you do a couple push-ups, squeeze your butt 500 times, and you're good to go. And with that, I'm out of material, but I want to close with the Super Bowl. I'm super excited about it. I hope that everybody's going to have a healthy, happy Super Bowl. You know how I'm. This is what I'm gonna say. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water, no matter what you're gonna do.
Do you have any food tips? I mean, I know that's kind of boring or whatever.
I know food tips. Well, we kind of went through that in the holidays. It's kind of the same thing. Right. Drink lots of water. If you're gonna drink alcohol, drink lots of water.
Meatball, some kind of meatball.
Yeah, like up your protein. Here's something that I like to do before, like, I go to Super Bowl parties, because I'm a chip freak. I love chips. And so what I try and do is make myself a little bit full before I go. So I drink a protein shake, a good one. You know what I mean? One that's got maybe 2 scoops of protein in it, a bunch of fruit. And so and water, so I try and make myself full before I go, because I'm going to hit that chip thing. I'm not even sad about it. I mean, I'm going to. If I go there hungry, I'll embarrass myself and eat the host's entire bowl and regret it later because my stomach hurts. And it's obviously, not that good for us. But there's usually at Super Bowl parties, there's the weenies and barbecue sauce. Probably not the best, but I got some. I got some, my Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, and there's meatballs. There's sources of protein. When I was in Minnesota, they would always have venison at Super Bowl parties. You know what I mean? Because of the time of year. Venison is such good meat, but that's a whole different podcast. But yeah, I say this is my food tip for Super Bowl Sunday. Drink a lot of water, no matter what. No matter if you're eating, drinking, don't drive.
Yes, obviously.
that kind of stuff, and have a great time. I mean, oh my God. They've talked about in the United States of America of making Monday a holiday after Super Bowl Sunday.
I think that starts next year.
They always say that, though, about daylight savings. I don't believe them. They always say everything starts next year. But I mean, it's a big deal. Like Super Bowl Sunday is a big deal. I remember I was in Mexico one year and I watched the Super Bowl, and that was even exciting. It's just an exciting day. Doesn't matter if your team's playing or not. At least for me it is. So I hope it is for you. If not, I hope you enjoy your Sunday relaxing, because then football season is over for you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and my family and friends, and they're so excited, all those Philly people. I'm excited for them. I miss Jason, though. I gotta say that before we close out.
Kelsey.
I do miss Jason Kelsey. But that's a whole nother podcast too. All right. Take it easy, Steve.
All right, Sizzle. Enjoy the game.